I wonder if my neighbours are looking out the window thinking, why on earth is this girl talking to herself in front of the window? Welcome to Realities of YouTube. Hello guys, so today I would like to make a quick review of all the hand products I'm using. My voice does sound not very well because I think I've got some kind of viral infection going on, but I hope the quality of the sound won't be affected. And I hope I'm not going to lose my voice halfway through this video as well. I do have quite dry hands. I've got hand eczema. I need to use a lot of hand kind of moisturisers and hand creams quite frequently. So in front of me there is a bit of a like mini gathering of all the hand products I'm using at the moment. So I'll jump in and I'll talk about the products I'm using. Obviously it's very individual. There's some things which I react quite badly to and it breaks me out and I get a bad rash on my hands. For some people it's totally fine, and some products I'm using are not suitable for others. It is very individual, and if you do have sensitive skin, if you are prone to eczema and dermatitis, just be wary that just because I'm saying it works for me does not necessarily mean it'll work for you. I'll start with one of my all-time favourites. This is TRILOGY Ultra Hydrating Hand Cream, and this is how it looks like. I think it's a 75ml. Yes, it is 75ml. Squeezy tube. I believe it's not vegan, unfortunately. I think it does contain honey, I think. I've been using this hand cream, or this brand of hand cream, for years and years and years. It's been at least 4 years that I've been using this hand cream, and I really enjoy it. It's quite light. I apply it and it absorbs quite well, but it still feels very, very moisturising. And I will. So obviously I'll use a bit more. And usually this is kind of my nighttime hand cream. Obviously I won't be able to use it for every single hand cream, but it applies and spreads very well. It has a very, very light kind of sweet vanilla-like smell, and I had never had a bad reaction to this cream. I absolutely love it. It is quite expensive, so usually I would buy it on that Treatment website. I think it costs around £15 or so. I have recently came across TRILOGY products in my local TK Maxx, and I was like, mine. Because it was much, much cheaper. I think the products were for like £6 or something, my local TK Maxx. So if you're interested, it might be worthwhile checking out your local TK Maxx, because they tend to have quite similar products seasonally. TRILOGY from New Zealand. I absolutely love this cream. It's been my long time favourite, and because it's 75ml, so you're not getting buckets and buckets, but it is it's very handy to pop into your bag. It was good for travelling as well, and it's good to keep on your work as well, and it absorbs very well. So it's still quite still quite a good option for on the go. The next one will be ESTELLE THILD Spring Rose Bond. This is a hand lotion. This time you get a bit more. You get 250. This I think this is Swedish brand. Sorry, I've just realised my nails all over the place. I've been using this brand for a while, but they are quite expensive, and it's quite hard to find them. I bought this hand cream when Beauty Bay had a sale, and I think they were discontinuing the whole line. I bought this for like £9 or so. I bought two others. The first one I was using, I think I had Vanilla Blossom. I think the Vanilla Blossom was the first one, and I've used it up over a year, and I really like having this one on my desk as I'm studying, because it is very light. So it's not the one I would use before going to bed. Before going to bed, I like something a bit more rich and nourishing. So this one is, because even it absorbs quite well, it's still very nourishing. This one is a bit lighter. Again, this one is not vegan, it contains beeswax, unfortunately. But this one is very light, and it spreads very nicely, and it absorbs very well. So because it's quite light and quite well absorbing, I like having this on my table when I'm studying or when I'm cooking or when I'm cleaning, because I can just pop it in my hands, and it absorbs very well, and it kind of gives this moisture, gives this quick boost of moisture, and this is what you need. As I said, it is quite expensive. I believe it's around £15 or so again. But you are getting, this time you get more, you get £2.50, and it is a lotion, so it is a bit, so now it's all, like, it doesn't feel sticky or anything, it's not all in, see, just as I was talking, it's all gets absorbed. This one is in rose scent, they have 4 scents, the previous one was vanilla and I really liked it. This one, rose, it has a very, you know, very faint, smell. It's not overwhelming, it's not overpowering, it's not granny-like or anything. It is a very nice, very pleasant smell. Again, I really enjoy it. It's very good. It's a very good option to pop it on your desk, or pop it in your office desk, or have it in like a bathroom or kitchen, so you can quickly use it, and it will quickly absorb into your hands, and you can carry on doing your work, and your hands will still be moisturised. Well, again, use something I've been using for a while. This is Organic Surge, Tropical Orange and Bergamot hand and body lotion. I've only been using this hand cream. I haven't been using this body lotion. Sorry, the sun is quite bright. It's Organic Surge, and I've been raving about Organic Surge on my blog. You get 250 ml, and this is organic. So it says recommend retail price is £7.95. I bought it for £2 because this cap was missing. So this is how it came. I used it. I think it was a soap pump. I just attached it and you know, still be able to use the product. The pump works perfectly fine. For a while I've been using this as my before bed lotion, but you know, realised it's not rich enough for before bedtime. So what I've done is I put this on the table right at the door, so when I'm leaving I'll use some hand cream. Right, I use some hand cream as I'm walking. As I'm walking outside the door, I'll just spread it. So as I'm leaving the house, I give my hands a moisture boost. So this is a bit thicker than ESTELLE and THILD, as it's a bit thicker than the previous one. This one is meant to be kind of a tropical and bergamot smell. It does smell very much of bergamot. It's not a typical citrus, and it's a bit more moisturising than ESTELLE and THILD, but still it does absorb very well. What I found quite strange about this particular one is quite hard to explain, but it feels a bit plasticky, and I don't know why, because it's all natural. You know, the ingredients are perfectly fine. I don't know why, but as you like initially spread it, it feels plastic. It doesn't feel sticky, but for some reason it just feels plasticky. I don't know why, but this is the first association that comes into my mind. But you know, now it feels totally fine. It's just as I'm spreading it, for some reason, I don't even know how to explain it. It just feels a bit weird. Does it stop me from, you know, using this? No, it doesn't, because it's still natural, it's still organic. All the ingredients are totally fine. I think this one is vegan. It's also made in Scotland, in Wick. So this is why it's quite close to my heart, because it's quite close to home. So just because it feels plastic, it doesn't mean it's a bad hand cream. It's just the first time I used it, it just kind of baffled me. I was like, oh, it feels a bit weird. I wondered that's why, because it was so cheap. But no, it's totally fine. You know, as you spread it, it absorbs quite well. It doesn't, you know, it's not sticky. It's not disgusting. It doesn't smell bad. It's totally fine. It's just I wanted to give you a bit of warning. But this hand cream is the cheapest one out of them all. Okay, so the next one I'm using at the moment, this is COWSHED moisturising hand cream, and and if you have used COWSHED before, you know they're quite heavy on essential oils, quite smelly. So this one is the biggest one. This is a 300. I bought this, as I said, was hand wash. I believe individually it is something about £18 or so. It doesn't tell me if it's vegan or vegetarian. I believe it's vegan. It says limited edition as well. I've used this one before as a small tube of hand cream. I use it for work and I really actually enjoyed it. It does contain grapefruit and coriander, and the coriander is the one which is like really power smell, and I really enjoyed it. But then I gave like my colleague to smell and she was like, oh no, this is disgusting. So the smell of COWSHED is definitely not for everyone, and I think it's a bit like body and birch. Not everyone likes body and birch smells, but at the same time they're quite carefully blended. What I'm not too happy with this hand cream is about like the first ingredients is just copper triglyceride and water and glycerin and stearic acid, and then phenoxyethanol, and then fragrancing, and only then like there's more phenoxyethanol in shea butter and coconut butter, and there's a bit of aloe vera there as well. So it doesn't feel most moisturising, but it is quite light. This is what I like about this. It's quite light. This is why it was so kind of useful at workplace, because you can just put it on. I'll use a different hand this time. I've just put it on, and after a very short time it's all gone. I've got a bit of hands on my hands. So yeah, this one is still very light. It's still quite good at moisturising, but it is quite expensive and it is very fragrant. So if you are, if your nose doesn't like a lot of smells, or if your skin does not react very well to heavily perfumed products, it might not be one for you. I really like coriander smell. I mean, I can't really smell grapefruit, I can't really smell coriander, and I really like it. I think it's quite a more of a male smell, to be honest, but I really enjoy it. My colleague did not. Again, it's not sticky, it's not disgusting, it does not feel strange, it's totally fine, but it is quite expensive. The COWSHED is a company. I don't like all of the ingredients for some of the products. The ingredients I'm really not too sure about. This hand cream is fine. Again, there's no parabens. Nothing bad, but it does contain phenoxyethanol. The next two items is what I carry in my bag, and I've wrote about them on my blog. For a quick recap, this is a deep steep hand cream, and this is kind of the limited edition sugar plum. I believe it came out last year, and I believe it's sold out in iHerb as well at the moment. What I do like about deep steep is I don't have water in here. So the first product is aloe vera, and having water in products is one of my biggest pet peeves. I absolutely hate when companies put water, because you can just use aloe vera instead and get the benefits from aloe vera. This one was quite cheap. It was only £3 for me. I think if you were to order that from iHerb, it would be about £8. Except there's no stock at the moment. But this one, it's not a problem, but it is what I noticed with it is when I put it on, I don't have a lot left, so I'm not going to waste it. I don't have a lot left, but when I put it on my skin and start a massage, it feels a bit sticky initially, like for the first 20 seconds or so. When you're massaging in, it feels quite sticky, but then after a while, it all goes away. It all becomes totally fine, and you don't get a sticky finish. This one is quite strongly smell, like you can really smell plum in here, and it does smell sweet plum. It doesn't feel synthetic to me, but I have seen people online saying they don't like the smell. Again, I really enjoy it. And in fact, I absolutely love a lot of deep sea products. I am quite gutted we don't have in UK a lot of deep sea products So as before, I tend to pick it up in TK Maxx. If I see GBC products in TK Maxx, I just go, mine, because I absolutely love them, and it's so much cheaper in TK Maxx than if you were to import it, you know, and pay import tax as well. So this one is, again, this is something I posted on my blog. This is an Organic Surge, another Organic Surge product. This is Gardener's Hands. This is the cream again. I believe this is sold out. It used to be $7.99. I bought it for $3.99 on TK Maxx again. This one didn't had water again. This had aloe vera juice, the first ingredient. And this one is lime, lemon and rosemary. 75 ml, should have said. This one is 50, this one 59 ml. So this is the smallest one. This was 75. And it does smell very like lemony with a bit of herbs thrown in. I still loved it. This one was a lot more nourishing than this one that I found. This one is quite nice because if you're on the go, if you're washing kind of your hands and you quickly have to go, you don't have time for your cream to absorb, this is totally fine because it's quite light. And if you spread it around, you know, after a few seconds the thickness is gone, you're fine to go. But this is a bit more nourishing, so I'd either have to use a bit less or massage it for a bit more while. But as I said, it's Gardener's Hand Cream, so it's been designed with Gardener's Delight. It contains Peruvian Inca Inchi oil, which is quite moisturising oil. This one does not contain water, but I just looked this up. This one does. They're from the same brand, and you know, I actually paid more for this one, even though it has a lot more volume in here. The reason why I'm including kind of this one, even though it's discontinued, is because, you know, it gives you information about the brand, and you can potentially extrapolate into the other products. Again, I see loads of Organic Surge products in my local TK Maxx. I'm not sure why. It might be worthwhile checking your own TK Maxx. There could be some Organic Surge, or it could be just some Scottish TK Maxx's. Again, they tend to come a lot cheaper than if you were to go and buy online. I'm not going to sit here and say don't go buy online, because, you know, you're still getting good products. So that completes the list of my hand products. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm always looking out for good hand products, so if you have like your holy grail, your something which really helps with your hand eczema, with your hand dryness, please leave me a message below. Or if you have any suggestions for kind of on the go hand cream, as long as natural, as long as cruelty free, as long as it doesn't have you know, common irritants, something which is not very good as ingredients wise for your skin, please leave me a comment below. I'd be really happy to listen. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video of all these hand creams. I know I do have quite a lot on the go at the moment. I hope my voice wasn't too croaky. I'll see you later. Bye bye.